Hello everyone, welcome back to another NSB4 video. This one is before you buy Cyberpunk 2077 on Mac because it dropped just a couple days ago and so far the performance is looking really good. This game has been out for almost 6 years. I know, time flies. A big W for CD Projekt Red for not making the players buy the game again who have already purchased the game via Steam or Epic Games Store. If it's available on your Steam library or on Epic Games account, you can just straight up go there and download the game and it will be compatible on your Mac. Considering your Mac is running the Apple Silicon and the minimum requirement is Apple Silicon M1, M2, M3, Pro, Max, or any chip, but the RAM requirement is like unified memory should be at least 16 gigabytes. So anything below it, you will still be able to launch the game, but even in 720p, it won't be stable at all. So let's just jump right into the performance test review. For this video, I will be using the M4 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch model. This is the most powerful laptop that Apple makes at the moment, and this one has like almost 4K really good screen. So we have cranked the resolution to the max, which is almost 4K but not quite there yet, and turned off any of the fake frame generation because I want to see the real performance. But to make the game playable in this laptop at 4K, you need to have at least the resolution scaling turned on. So I have set that setting to MetalFX and set the preset to quality. So that's like NVIDIA DLSS, and with those settings I ran the benchmarks, I played the game, and I was getting approximately around average of 35 to 38 FPS in this machine. So that is, I think, on almost 4K, it's a really good performance for this laptop, but let's crank it up a notch. With the help of frame generation and MetalFX upscaling, this MacBook is pushing some surprisingly playable frame rates, especially considering we're almost in the 4K resolution territory on this built-in display. But it's not quite there yet, so that's why I want to take things a little further. So let's step out of the laptop screen and experience the game the way it's meant to be on a proper 4K 144Hz gaming monitor. And for that, I'm using this brand new HDMI 2.1 cable from today's sponsor, Silkland. First off, big thanks to Silkland for sending this out. I have tested a lot of cables over time, and most of them either overpromise or cut corners or simply just looks ugly in a beautiful setup. But this one is HDMI 2.1 certified, which means it's fully capable of delivering 4K at 144Hz HDR and even 8K at 60Hz. That makes it not only perfect for gaming on a MacBook just like mine, but also ideal for playing on a PlayStation 5 with a big TV, Xbox Series X, or any high-end GPU on a Windows PC. Build-wise, it's surprisingly premium. Its aluminum alloy housing gives it a clean, high-end premium look that matches setups like mine, and the nylon braided cable not only feels durable, but also resists tangling, a small but very important detail if your setup is constantly moving or evolving. And I have been using this cable for a couple days now, and I have noticed zero dropouts, no signal flickering, and most importantly, the game looks incredible on a bigger 144Hz monitor. So if you're looking for a high-end HDMI high-quality cable that won't break the bank, but still delivers top-tier specs, top-tier performance, Silkland is the way to go. Whether you're upgrading your gaming setup or connecting a console to your big TV, or just want a future-proof cable, you will find what you need. I have left a link in the description down below so you can check them out for yourself. But again, big thanks to Silkland for sponsoring this part of the video and helping me showcase what this MacBook is truly capable of. If you want to buy this game, do not buy it from App Store. I am stressing on it again and again. Do not buy it from the Apple App Store because they are charging over 100 Canadian dollars for this game. This is almost a 6-year-old game at this point. Go to a third-party website like G2A or something like that. I'll put a link in the description down below for some trusted websites where you can buy the CD keys for redeeming on your Steam library or Epic Games launcher. And from there you can find the game for like a fraction of the price, even like $40 or $30 for this game, because it's really old at this point. Now let's talk about the 1080p resolution. I am happy to say that the native 1080p, without any kind of frame generation, without any kind of resolution upscaling, the native 1080p, this game can play smooth 60 FPS, sometimes dipping around 55ish, but like constant 60 FPS. That was really good performance. But bad thing about that is I had to turn off the ray tracing in this game. So because ray tracing is kind of a very weak point of Apple at the moment, ray tracing turned off, 1080p, native resolution, everything cranked up to max without any kind of resolution scaling, this laptop can push 60 FPS. But the good thing is that Apple has launched this game, and at the launch it is still in playable state. I have noticed here and there some of the glitches, some of the bugs. Sometimes I've noticed the NPCs just flying. It's kinda like when it first launched on PC, but at that time it was straight up broken and a lot of the stuff was just flying around. NPCs, like their faces were not visible. But in this one, it is still in a better state than that, but still has a long way to go. So we should be expecting some patches very soon, and they have a lot of optimization to do as well. And now I will be showing you the game running at native 1080p, 1440p, and 4K with the ray tracing turned on, without any kind of upscaling or frame generation on, and you will be the judge on how it is. One of the best things that I like about MacBooks is even if it's plugged in or running on the battery, the performance doesn't change at all. I have ran this test on 50% battery, 100% battery, and I think around 20% battery as well. And I have ran the tests on the laptop plugged in as well. And for all of those settings, the power mode was set to automatic. There was absolutely no difference at all. So that's the best thing about MacBook. On macOS devices, the game gives you an extra preset, graphic settings without ray tracing, low, high, ultra, whatever. This game gives you an extra preset of the quality that's called for this Mac, because that preset will be specifically tailored to the configuration of the Mac that you are running. And every time I switch to that preset for this Mac on my MacBook, it changed the resolution to 1440p and capped the frame rate at 60 FPS, and ray tracing was turned on, so that's a good thing. No frame generation, but the resolution scaling of MetalFX was turned on at quality. So I think 1440p at resolution scaling at quality is still good, but the frame rate, they want to cap it at 60 FPS to make the game more stable, to like avoid the CPU getting way too hot. Considering if you are a casual gamer, I would just say cap it at 60 FPS, because 60 FPS is a good resolution in my point, because for casual gamers 60 FPS is great. If you don't mind your machine getting way too hot and don't mind the really high fan noise, then definitely like turn off that 60 FPS cap and you will be able to squeeze another 10 frames per second out of your laptop, and but yeah, you will definitely cook your CPU. This particular game is compatible with both of these controllers, so Xbox and PS5. I know it's on Mac. You can definitely use the MacBook's keyboard and trackpad, but trackpad is not ideal for playing video games, or like laptop's inbuilt keyboard is also not ideal for video games. So you can connect an external keyboard and mouse, but I am a console gamer at best, so that's why I have both of these controllers. In this test, I mostly tested it with the Xbox controller, and I have also tested it with the PS5 controller, and I am kind of regretting it now. Why didn't I use the PS5 controller more? Because Xbox controller is compatible, all the buttons are working, you will be able to definitely play the game without any issues, but the haptic feedback's vibration motor of this controller doesn't work, or is not compatible with this game on Mac. If you connect PlayStation 5 controller and run this game on your laptop, you will be able to take the full advantage of these haptics. This controller is great. And let's talk about the temperatures, because apart from the fan noise, this laptop gets super hot if you're pushing it to its limits. And the recorded temperature of the keyboard section, I have recorded it maximum around 45 degrees Celsius, which is, I think, for the body, the amount of the noise that fans were making and the RPM the fans were running at, for that kind of work, temperature was way too hot. Because I've been using this laptop for a very long time now, since it came out, and I have been editing a lot of projects on it, and I was thinking that I've not been able to push it to its limits, but now, because the fan never ran, even when I was rendering like multiple projects. So sometimes, because I did a stress test, okay, with the Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve, exporting a 4K video at the same time, and the fans came on, like fans turned on, but the noise was just like, I wasn't able to hear it. I had to put my ear close to the laptop to be able to hear that noise that the fans were making. So I was like, okay, the fans never came up, so this laptop is really good at cooling, which it is, but this game is super intense, and it pushed it to its absolute limits, and the fan was going super crazy. So take a listen for yourself. So in the end, it all comes to that one point that we have been making since like years. Like, the gaming on Mac is improving, and we are definitely here for it. Like, you get the point, right? So nobody is trying to win any tournaments if a person has a Mac. So they're just trying to play the games that other people are playing, like good AAA titles, and enjoy them at decent frame rate. And which Apple and CD Projekt has delivered on this particular title. A lot of the titles that are running or that are launching on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X consoles are also, when you set them to quality, those are like running at 30 FPS, and people enjoy those games. So don't get me wrong, even if you have like a MacBook Air, I would say you will definitely be able to enjoy gaming on your Mac from now on. So this is definitely the step in the right direction.